Hey guys, welcome to my new tutorial for setting up Randomizer for Kingdom Hearts 2 on PC with the Garden of Assemblage mod. For those who have never seen a Randomizer, the general idea is that key items, abilities, summons, magic, keyblades, and forms are scattered randomly about the worlds in various locations, and you must find all three proofs: proof of peace, the proof of non-existence, and proof of connection, and beat Xemnas beyond the door atop the world that never was. Randomizer currently takes advantage of LuaBackend, which allows the randomizer and other scripts to be loaded when the game runs. The Randomizer is developed by Sonic Shadow Silver 2 and is constantly being worked on and improved on by devs in the community. This guide only serves how to set things up for the Epic Games version of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 collection, so we won't be covering the steps for the emulator or Kingdom Hearts 1. We will cover in this video how to set up the Randomizer, create a seed, run the game, add basic mods, trackers, and potential bug fixes. As always, links for what is referenced in the video will be linked in the description. Check the description for timestamps also. To start, let's first locate where Kingdom Hearts is installed. Install locations will vary between people. For some of you, it may be located inside your C drive program files in the Epic Games folder. Locate where it is installed, and then open the KH 1.5 2.5 folder. Keep this folder open for the meantime. Open up your browser, then navigate to the Garden of Assemblage main Google Doc. This document has links to other text and video guides for setting up the Randomizer for emulator and PC, as well as links to various files that are generally needed for setting up the Randomizer. The first thing we'll check out here is Sirius's LuaBackend, the main component for loading up the Randomizer. Click and open the link here and it will direct you to the GitHub page where you can download it. It is good to always have the Randomizer Google Doc available as it will link to the latest files. Download the dinput8.zip file and extract a single file inside dinput8.dll to the folder that KH was installed to. If your browser or antivirus flags the download as malicious or dangerous, allow it through. Make sure that your folder contains the dinput8.dll file as I have here. If you wish to add mods to the game, keep this folder open for later, otherwise you can close this window. Next, navigate to your Documents folder and find the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 2.5 Remix folder. If this folder does not show, try seeing if it'll show up once you start and close Kingdom Hearts. Open this folder and then create a new folder and name it Scripts, all lowercase as I have here. Open it, then create a KH2 folder, all lowercase as I have here. Once made, open that folder and then leave it open for future use for the next few steps. Open the Garden of Assemblage main Google Doc again and navigate to the Randomizer build section. Click the link PC version nums Lua to go to the GitHub page where you can download the Garden of Assemblage mod and RandoConverter. Download both, then extract both into the KH2 scripts folder as shown here. Now let's generate a seed. To create a seed, we'll be using Valaxor's seed generator. We will go over the settings and everything listed here later in this guide, if you would like a more in-depth explanation. So for now, just click random and then hover your mouse over the download seed button. Select any language patch, it does not matter which one you select. Download the seed, then place it inside the KH2 scripts folder. Next, we'll use RandoConverter to convert the seed file into a .lua file. I'll cover two methods for how to do this. Method 1 will be to use the HTML version. To do this, open the RandoConverter folder we extracted earlier, and then click on the converter HTML file. This will open up a new tab in your browser. From here, you can drag and drop your created seed or manually select one. Once you have selected your seed, save the file into your KH2 scripts folder. Method 2 uses the Python source code script. If you have never downloaded Python, please download the latest version from the official site. We will not be coding or anything related, but downloading this is needed for this method. If Python is installed or is finished installing, go to the GitHub page from earlier in the Garden of Assemblage mod and download the source code.zip. Extract the download to the KH2 scripts folder. Inside the folder, right-click the RandoConverter Python file, click Create a Shortcut, and then move the shortcut into the KH2 scripts folder. When you want to convert a seed, just drag a seed onto the shortcut. A message will appear and say that your seed has been converted. If done right, there should be a .lua file in your folder with your seed file name. This is my preferred method as I do not have to open the HTML file each time. I only need to drag the seed onto the shortcut to create converted seed. Now that we have the Garden of Assemblage mod in the seed file, let's check the randomizer and see if it works. Load up the game and get to the KH2 title screen. Let's briefly go over how LuaBackend controls. When you press F2, a console window should show stating all the scripts that have been added. Pressing F2 toggles this menu. By pressing F1, you can reload all scripts from the KH2 scripts folder. If you do not see this window, please check that dinput8.dll was properly placed in the KH 1.52.5 install location as shown towards the beginning of this guide. Start up the game by selecting the difficulty and vibration settings, then select beginning the game. If everything goes right, you will be loaded into the Station of Serenity. Select the Dream Weapon, then you should be sent right into the Garden of Assemblage. The starting chest should have unique items, and if you start in critical mode, your menu will have different to no abilities. Talking to the central computer will bring forth all the data doors, but now each door will instead lead to a different world. Starting from the entrance, the large doors lead to 100 Acre Wood, Larxine's portal leads to Space Paranoids, Luxor's to Port Royal, Axel's to Twilight Town, Zexian's to Olympus Coliseum, Vexen's to Halloween Town, Zigbar's to Land of Dragons, Zemnis to the World That Never Was, Zaldan's to Beast Castle, Lexaeus to Agrabah, Syx to Pridelands, Demix to Hollow Bastion, Marluxia to Disney Castle, Roxas to Simulated Twilight Town, and the bottom exit to Atlantica. Currently with this setup, there is no way to easily disable any scripts, so the best way is to just remove each script from the folder by either deleting them or moving them into a different folder. To remove Lua from KH2 entirely, simply delete the dinput.dll file. As backend continues development, this is subject to change, so check the description or pinned comments from me. Now if you would like to install any mods like the Garden of Assemblage companion mod, we'll cover that now. For compatible mods, please go to Nexus Mods and the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix section. Do note that there may be compatibility issues between some mods. Reach out to the creators if you have experienced anything wrong with them. To download a mod directly from the site, you will need to create an account to do so. We'll show one of the most commonly used mods for Randomizer, the Garden of Assemblage Rando Companion mod. Click the page for it, then click the Files tab. Click the manual download button, and then click the preferred download speed. It is a small file for the companion mod, so the choice shouldn't matter. Extract the download and place it in any folder of your choosing. Here, I've made a new folder and called it KHPC Mods. Once downloaded, we'll download the KHPCPatchManager. This is used to apply the mods, the patch files, to the game. Use the version I have linked in the description. Do not use the one linked in the Nexus Mod site, as it may cause issues when patching.
One important step is to have the KH patch file and the PatchManager exe in the same location. If they are, simply click and drag the patch file onto the PatchManager exe.
If this brings up a window and it immediately starts patching files, then simply wait a few seconds after you see no more messages being shown. If the window pops up and asks for the EN folder, locate your Kingdom Hearts installs image folder as mentioned towards the beginning of this guide. Open the image folder, then click and drag the EN folder onto the window pop-up. Verify that the folder location is right, then press enter. Let it run as it changes files. Again, when you see that files aren't being replaced and no messages show for a few seconds, then close the window. Start up the game, go into the garden, and verify that the door icons have changed. To install other mods, the process will be the same where you drag the extracted patch onto the exe, then select the EN folder and let it modify the files.
If you notice that after patching some of the sound effects and dialogues are not there, then try going into the Epic Games Launcher, click the 3 dots under Kingdom Hearts, and click Verify. If the icons end up as the original door icons, then try running the patcher again. It can be unfortunate, but this is a slightly common occurrence.
Let's go over in some better detail what some of the settings are on the seed generator page. The help page gives a brief explanation for the differences between vanilla, replace, randomize, and some other tidbits. Vanilla keeps the world's items as it normally is through a playthrough. Replace takes all the items and replaces it within the random items pool from all the other worlds, and puts not so valuable items like synth items and potions and such in that world instead. Randomize puts the items from that world into a random item pool, and then it will get random items from that collective pool, sometimes even getting the same items back. Critical mode settings randomize the starting abilities that Sora starts with. Normally, you start with Finishing Plus, Lucky Lucky, and other abilities, but having this setting on replaces all of them with different abilities or items. The leveling setting will replace all the item rewards. Level 50 is ideal to play on since proofs can be at a maximum level 50. If you choose the level 1 setting, level ups are not completely randomized. This is also the ideal setting for doing level 1 randomizer attempts. Randomized stats change where magic, strength, and defense increases occur. The bonus modifiers alters the pop-ups you get, such as drive gauge increases and HP increases. The answer reports depth setting is meant for how far you will see an answer report in a seed if you choose to use them along with hints. The Keyblade stats section is broken up as well like levels. If you choose vanilla, a Keyblade will generate with its normal strength and magic stat, with the ability being randomized. Unbalanced, all Keyblades will have their strength and magic randomized between 0 and 7 strength and magic. On boosted, the max range is set between 1 and 10. The XP multiplier section at the bottom changes the amount of XP needed to reach the next level. As the text here mentions, experience you gain from beating enemies will remain the same, however the XP requirement needed to level up Sora or a form is reduced. The world section is pretty self-explanatory. All world's items are placed into a random items pool, and then that pool is randomly distributed to every world with the randomized setting. The Include tab here has much more additional details. Keyblade settings can be set to have their vanilla abilities, support only randomizes the green support abilities like Finishing Plus and Berserk Charge, and action support combines the former with action abilities like Aerial Spiral and Explosion. Donald and Goofy's abilities being randomized is self-explanatory also. Absent Silhouettes, Datas, Olympus Cups all follow the same idea as worlds, where proofs can be located in these locations unless replaced as selected or put on vanilla. There are toggles here as well for Lingering Will and Sephiroth. In the Game Mode Settings tab, the two biggest settings are at the top here. Promise Charm means that Promise Charm is added into the item pool. While this item is not normally found within the base game, for Randomizer, it is used to teleport the player to the beginning of the final fights once the player has found all 3 proofs. You can do this by going to the center console in the middle of the garden, and it'll take you to the Station of Calling, where the door at the end takes you to the final fights. Go mode means that the starting 3 chests in the garden will contain all 3 proofs, meaning that if you have the capabilities to reach the door at the end of the world it never was, you can challenge Xemnas, without searching for any proofs. All the other settings here are quality of life changes, such as having the option to skip the Dragon Xemnas auto-scroller boss fight. For the PC version, anything in the experimental tab will not work and should not be toggled on. Even if you do unconvert the seed, the Lua engine will not properly start the seed and you will see an error. The last tab here is the spoiler lock section, where you can search for any item of your choosing and see where it is located, such as where forms were or where proofs were located. We recommend that you do not look at this while doing an attempt, and that you look at it after a seed has been completed or you are absolutely stuck. Do note that unless you are given the seed name or seed generator link, trying to find the spoiler log from a seed given to you is virtually impossible. Now, let's go over what a tracker is. This is Red Buddhist Tracker, one of the most popular trackers available. It features a very clean and moderately customizable interface and the ability to auto-track important checks that you have found throughout a seed. Trackers are, as the name suggests, used to track important checks. What is deemed an important check is generally accepted as the 18 magic being the 3 fires, 3 blizzards, 3 thunders, 3 cures, 3 reflects, and 3 magnets, the 5 different drive forms, the 5 torn pages, the 4 summons, and the 3 proofs. Some additional checks can be added depending on how you choose to play the seed, such as the 13 answer reports, once more, and second chance. A tracker by itself is useful, but it becomes part of the randomizer experience when you choose to play with the hint mode. Hints are designed so that you aren't going to mindlessly check every world from beginning to end, but rather you are told or indicated through means of a number next to a world how many important checks are found there. The 2 main hint modes are hints with answer reports and Shenana's alt hints mode. To use the answer reports hint setting, you will first need to visit a new site which will create hints for you. This is JSmarty's hint generator, and here you are able to set what important checks your tracker will count as well as what worlds it will show. Do note that you should have the extra worlds here match the settings that you play on, such as having Atlantica disabled when Atlantica is on the replace setting. Select the seed file that you have downloaded from the seed generator website, then generate the hints for them. If you're using the KH2 tracker from Red Buddha, you should click the Save Hints button, and then save that file to the location you will reference to the next step. Once saved, go to where you saved that file, then click and drag that file onto the tracker. There should be a pop-up on the tracker saying hints are loaded, meaning that if you pick up an answer report, it'll tell you how many important checks are located within a world. For Shenana's alt hints mode, you simply just need to click and drag your seed file onto the tracker. This mode makes it so the world numbers will turn blue once you have found the last important check in that world. If a number starts off as blue, then that means that world does not contain any important checks. However, this does not mean that the world won't contain any great abilities, like glide, slide dash, and so on. Hope this tutorial helps you set up the randomizer on PC and shows some of the cool things you can do along with the game. If you have any issues that I didn't seem to address, feel free to leave a comment and ask for help. If you would like immediate help, however, I recommend joining the Randomizer Discord and asking in there.
The community is really friendly and we would love to help people play the randomizer as soon as they can. If you like this tutorial, go ahead and give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I post randomizer runs that I stream from my Twitch here, so if you want to catch a live run, come follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/codenamegeek. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your rando runs.